bring your thumbs into your temples. So let your thumbs hold the space between beside your eyes. And now with your fingers, start to massage your forehead. And I'm doing this still with my head in my hands. And you can also do this lying down, or you can do this seated. So I'm just showing you here that my fingers are pulling the skin of my forehead towards my thumbs. And let's keep through this whole next part. So now we're gonna do this all the way across the scalp. We did this a couple weeks ago. And let your head turn more towards your heart as you go through this. And we're going to pull from the midline of the scalp towards the temples. And we're going to go up and over the whole head. And here you might just imagine that you're pulling any tension or constriction off the back of the scalp. All the way up and over. Yeah, I need to take my elbows off my knees as my hands come to the back of my head. I'm really letting my head continue to drop down towards my chest. And then I'm going to go all the way back up to the forehead. This is why we couldn't have a hairdo before we started class today. So we're going to fuss it up. All the way back to the forehead. And then once you get back to the forehead, we'll do some circular massage at the hairline. So you can take your fingertips and start to rub around your hairline, making little circles. Rubbing from the center of the forehead down back to the temples. And then let your circles go back a little bit so you're moving over the frontal plate of your skull. Okay. Then get all your hands up in your hair, in your scalp, and just give your scalp a nice massage and kind of rub your fingers around. Really fuss up your hairdo. And then we're going to look for these spots in the skull that are often kind of tender. So the first spot is kind of where the fontanelle is for infants. It's where all your skull bones come together at the top. There's often an indentation or a soft spot there. And if you find it and it hurts, just circle your fingers over it. Give it a massage of a pressure that feels okay for you. Letting your jaw relax, letting your exhales be long. And then from that soft spot, can you find the suture joints in your skull where your temporal bones meet the back occipital bone? And they're kind of indentations that travel from the top of the skull down to about the top of the ears. And so we want to just kind of follow around there. And if you don't feel that, just feel around on your scalp and your skull and let your fingers find the spots that want to get rubbed. Okay, so again, we don't need to be super fussy and specific. We're just looking for any tender spots on the skull that want to get rubbed. Okay. All right. So now I'm done with my scalp. I need to get my huge mane of hair out of my face for the rest of the class. So excuse me for a second while I do this. Okay, so now let's bring the hands to the back of the skull, the soft spot at the back of the skull. Your occipital bones come up into an indentation there and start to rub circles in that spot. Rubbing circles around the back lip of the skull. And then down below your ears, rubbing little circles. And then up and around your ears on your temporal bones. I'm using my thumbs here, feels a little easier. Okay, and then once more, we'll find the temples. And now we're really just going to rub the temples. Okay. All right, and from the temples, then rub down to your jaw joints. Open up your mouth, and with some of your really let your jaw stretch. And you can feel the muscles at the side of your jaw, from your upper to your lower molars, and try and rub down them, and up them. And then we'll use our thumbs underneath the jawbone and fingertips around the front of the jawbone to give a little bit of a jaw massage. Chin massage. Okay. And then let your index fingers come up beside your nose and rub a little bit along the bones or the creases at the side of your nose. This is really nice to do in the morning. It helps relieve congestion and build up in the skull. And then take your fingertips and push up underneath your cheekbones, letting your face relax. Okay, and then we'll trace the upper eye sockets and be gentle here, kind of pushing upwards, nice and gentle. Okay, and then this next thing we're going to do is a massage for the eyes. And so really be gentle here. And you're going to close your eyes and very, very gently with your fingertips, just push a little bit around the tops and the sides of your eyeballs. The bottom of your eyeballs, really, really gently. Okay, and then sweep out up and over your eyebrows. Okay, and then sweep down your face, and let's let our fingertips pull the skin down in the front of the throat, relaxing your jaw as you do. Okay, and then one hand at a time, just pulling down the skin of the throat. This is helpful to start to move lymph in your body. And again, it's really nice to do first thing in the morning. And then take your fingers and find the sides of your neck, and there's big corded band-like muscles here. And just start to explore them through a little bit of like a pinching massage. So I'm using my thumb and my index finger to move these muscles a little bit. We want to be gentle here. Okay? And as you do this, you can turn your head, and the shortening side, So I'm turning my head to the left, and so my right side is can shorten a little bit. So the shortening side, then you can grab a hold of it. And then as you turn away, kind of letting the movement of your head give you that massage. And then let your head come over to one side, and we'll just do that side on the shortening side. So your these muscles connect to the inside of your collarbone and then up towards the back of your ear. So let your hands explore their length from the top to the bottom. Big inhales, and as you exhale, let your chest and shoulders sigh out. Okay, and then with two hands, we're gonna hold the top of the muscle with your head over to the side, and then as you lift your head, let the hands slide down to the bottom. Okay, and then do the other side. So gentle is good here, and you can do a little bit of pulling if it feels okay. So you can try and grab the muscular bands or the connective tissues and just really gently kind of pulling down, pulling up, pulling away. And then with both hands, taking the top of the muscle, shortening that side, and then lifting your head up as the hands slide down. Okay, let's let both hands now come to the back of the neck and start to move your fingertips away from one another at the spine. Okay, and let's go along the length of the spine. So wherever you are, make sure that you do this movement all the way up to the top of your neck and your bottom of your skull, and then all the way down to the bottom of your neck. And then we'll do little circles as well, circling our fingers on the sides of the spine. And then like a claw, taking one hand and squeezing the back of the neck. And then we'll do the other side. Go ahead and find one shoulder, bringing your opposite hand to massage that shoulder and squeezing the top of your trapezius muscle. So these self-massage techniques are easy to do anywhere. Go ahead and let your hands start to come down over your deltoid and upper shoulder. I'm just going to give the arm a good squeeze, and let's squeeze kind of down the center line of the arm, all the way down eventually to the hand and fingers. And as you come down, it's kind of like you're picking up sludge, dredging your arm, and when you come all the way to the fingers, toss it away. And then we'll do the same thing on the kind of more inner or bicep side of the arm, from the top to the bottom, squeezing the muscles and imagining that you can pull any stagnancy or tension in your fascia. You're just kind of pulling it out, and then we'll do one more time the back of the arm. So obviously, you might not be able to do your scalp massage like when you're in like the full scalp massage when you're in a meeting with your PTA or something like that. But go ahead and let's sweep down the arm. Okay, and then rub up the inseam of the arm, getting these channels, waking them up. And then let that hand come over to the opposite side ribs. Okay. And let's rub around that lung. And then rub up and over that same side chest, saying hello to the lung. And then down, front side of the lung. Okay. Notice the difference between the two sides of your body. Notice how your head feels. And then let's do the other side. So we're going to do 3 times center, front, back, dredging, squeezing from the top to the bottom. So you might not be able to do, you know, everything in the way that I'm showing it right now in any given moment, but these self-massage techniques are really easy to do in some kind of variation in a lot of circumstances. And we're going to go through the whole body. And as we do this, we're really serving the health of our body. We're helping cellular metabolism. We're helping our bodies to release what they don't need. There's a lot of buildup in the lymph and the fluids of the bodies. There's, of course, tension in the muscle spindles and the nervous system. And we're helping to kind of dispel residue of tension as we work through the self-massage. Sweeping down the arm. But we're also really making space for vitality in the body. Go ahead and rub up the arm channels. We're really making space for vitality in the body. And the Taoist masters, you know, knew this. And a lot of these warm-ups are warm-ups that over time, go ahead and rub your ribs. People have been doing for a long time, right? Because it helps the body. It helps our immune system. And it helps us to feel better when our bodies are feeling better than our, go ahead and come underneath your lung. When our bodies are more supported, then our hearts and our minds can be more supported. Okay, up and over your heart and this side of the lung. Okay. Whew. Let's bring both hands to the chest. And as you feel into your chest, try and feel into your beating heart. Feel into your lungs as your lungs receive your breath. And we'll make some circles here over the chest. And in these circles, delivering care to your body. Mantak Chia talks about smiling into the organs. And he says the smile starts in your eyes. So from your mind, can you direct love and care into your heart? Like a inner smile into your heart, into your inner body. And then let's let our hands start to trace a figure 8 over the chest. And then let's let the chest really start to move with that figure 8. Letting the hands trace all the way up and over the lungs now. Front side of the lungs, all the way down, all the way up. And as you trace your lungs, let your exhales now start to hiss. Two more breaths out. Big figure 8s, letting your lungs move. Okay, as you inhale, you are filling up your lungs with love. And as you exhale, you're hissing out. And with the hiss, letting go of any stagnant lung energy. Good. And then next time your hands come to the center, let them stay there, pausing for a moment. Your hands are at the place where your ribs meet below your sternum. And then we'll bring the fingertips into that point. And we've done this a little bit. We worked with this in Virgo season. And so some of you might remember this can be a point that has a lot of soreness for some of us. And if you bend forward, your abdominal wall will soften, and so it can be easier to get into this stuff. And it's also really helpful to do this lying down. But we're gonna let our fingertips now trace down the rib basket. And you just listen to your own body here. So it might be really uncomfortable to push up too far. And in that case, really gentle pressure is good. And some of you, it might feel okay to actually get your fingertips up and underneath your ribs. And this is a massage here for the fibers of the diaphragm, your breathing muscle. And it's also a massage that can help release fascial tension that can really constrict the organs of digestion. And our breath and our digestion are very linked. And so when we're in moments in our lives where full, easy breaths feel accessible, usually our digestion is better, more easeful. When we're in moments of our lives where the breath is scarce or challenged or constricted, this will affect the body's capacity to absorb and assimilate. So tracing your hands a couple of times up and down the bottom ribs and letting your body be in whatever shape facilitates this most easily. Ooh. And I want to invite some different sounds here, and you just feel into the ones that feel good to you. So there might be a whoo that you want to let out, and there might be a shh that feels good, or it might be some other sound entirely. Okay. The next time your hands have come to the center, pause there for a moment, and let's take one hand over the other. And in the magnetism of our hands, let's let our hands really speak to the solar plexus, this place in the body where so many nerves branch out. In some ways, where the organs of the upper and the lower body come together. And let's really try and fill this place in our bodies with breath and with presence. And then let your hands come around to the back side and find the lower part of your back ribs. And then we'll do some self-massage here. And so again, it's helpful for me to let my spine round a little bit and my head comes down. And I'm gonna let my hands explore the curve of my back ribs and these big, wide muscles that run between my ribs and the top of my hip crest and go out to the side. And when you get into those big, wide muscles, there are various things that you might do. You can circle your fingers around the spine, all the way up and down your lower back. You can make bigger circles, circling around these muscles entirely. It might also feel good for some folks to make a gentle fist with your hands and give yourself a massage through some gentle impact. And so here I want to encourage folks again to be gentle, especially around your kidneys. And then making sure that you rub up and down a little bit along these muscles. And then we'll pause for a couple of breaths, breathing into the back body. Okay, so breathing into your back body, directing your breath into your kidneys, into the organs that are nestled in the left and the right sides of your spine, around the height of your bottom ribs. Okay, letting your breath extend off of your back, and it's as if your breath is expanding your back body, letting this area of your body feel the support and the nourishment of your breath. And as we exhale now, let's make a sound like a choo-choo train. And as you inhale, breathing into your back body, sending love into this part of your body. It's as if you're breathing up from the earth into your kidneys. And as you exhale, letting the movement of your breath and the sound of your breath be a releasing support. And releasing tension, releasing anxiety, releasing aggression, releasing fear. And as that energy releases from your body, it just becomes neutral. It moves out into the atmosphere as regenerative charge, omnipotent, able to generate new energy, fresh energy. I'm going to stand up for this next part. And you can do this seated and lying down as well. But continuing here down the back of my body, now I'm going to rub up and down my sacrum. So the bony triangle shape at the bottom of your spine. Let the edges of your index fingers kind of move around that bone. And then take one hand and make a fist and let your knuckles rub up and down the back of your sacrum. Rubbing to the sides and up and down. Really directing the force of the breath out with whatever sound feels good for you. Then take two fists and let's go ahead and hit the sides of the butt. So impact massage for your buns. Make sure you get the full buns, inner buns, sides of the buns, under buns, upper buns. Okay, and then come around to the sides and then over the front, over your groin lines and the tops of your thighs. Ooh, let your breath come out and sound. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, and then flat palms. Let's rub up the groin lines and over the genitals. Okay, and then we're going to clap down the backs of the legs, clapping down the backs of the legs, around and over the foot, and then up the insides of the legs, all the way back up and over the hips, all the way back and down. I'll do this a couple of times. Bringing energy into the legs. Hello, legs. Okay. And then we're gonna do some massage for the feet here. And I'm gonna see if I can balance on my ball, but it would probably be easier to sit on the floor. So whatever position you need to be in. And I'm gonna take off my sock because I wanna be able to get my fingers in between my toes. See if that's possible for you. Threading your fingers in between your toes. Okay, and then whoosh, with one leg crossed over the other, go ahead and hold your ankle, and let's use the hand holding the toes to make some circles. And then go the other way. Okay, and then squeeze your toes and pull them from your foot as you use the other hand to pull your ankle back. And then let's massage the soles of the feet. And here, this spot kind of underneath the base of your second toe, between your second toe and your big toe, is a spot where you might find some tension, some soreness. So make sure that you really get in there. And let your hands be intuitive here. Your hands are natural healers. Your hands are natural lovers, right? So the hands can just explore the feet, pulling the metatarsals away from one another, kind of spreading the sole of the foot can feel good. Rubbing up and down the length of your toe bones. Getting each toe. Pulling your toes away from your foot. You might get little pops. Rubbing the muscles around your heel bone. And inner and outer sides of the heel. Okay. And then let's slap the bottom of the foot. And then we'll release to the other side. Oh, before we do the other side though, notice the different feeling between your 2 feet. Notice the different feeling. Maybe get up and take a walk, actually, and just notice the difference between your 2 feet. For me, the side that I just did is so much more alive. It's so much more awake. I feel that aliveness and awakeness come all the way up into the top of my leg and the top of my hip. Okay, that was like not even 2 minutes really of what we just did. So let's do the other side. Go ahead and try and thread your fingers between your toes. Really get in there. And take some breaths here, squeezing. And then with your other hand, hold your ankle and pull your toes away from your heel, and then let your fingers slide off of your toes as you're pulling them, kind of tractioning your toe bones. Wiggle all 5 toes on this side, just wiggle them around, get the joints moving a little bit. And then we'll get into this point. Elemental medicine practitioners call these the wellspring of life points. So massaging the base of the big toe and the second toe into the third toe. You're looking for the tender spots, for the sore spots. And when you find the sore spots, let your thumbs and your fingers just explore them. Circle your thumbs around them. The movement of your breath can travel anywhere in your whole body. So even though your lungs don't live in your feet, you have oxygen in the blood that is in your feet. So as you breathe, you can send breath into the sore spots of your feet. You can use your breath also to relax muscles in your feet or wherever you might feel them. Okay, so again, spreading the toes, tracing along the long bones of the feet. Okay. Working the heel. Okay, and then slapping the foot. Okay, and then let's get up and take a walk again. And if you're not walking, then notice the sensation from your feet up to your legs. You might move around a little bit in whatever way feels accessible to you. Okay, and then noticing for a moment just how your body feels. So we just took about 30 minutes or so, and we did a full body self massage for ourselves. Notice how your body feels. We didn't do a comparison check-in before we started, but maybe you remember. Okay, notice what the results are.